immigrants. They didn't really go to a lot of school in their own country. My dad was nothing more than he was a bartender at Sam's Town. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to start dating myself. My mom was a maid at the Imperial Palace. Huh? That's back when they used to have this thing. That was our family outing. We used to go see this thing called Legends in Concert, which was some old timers remember Legends in Concert. It was like a fake Elvis, and it was like either one week it was the fat Elvis, the other week it was the skinny Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, whatever. My point is, that's the jobs they had. And you know what my parents were able to do with those jobs? A bartender and a maid. They owned a home. We didn't get to go to a lot. I mean, we didn't have everything we wanted. We had everything we needed. And the most important thing my parents were able to achieve is they were able to leave all four of their children better off than themselves. If there weren't any taxes on tips, the way Donald Trump is going to do, maybe we would have had more than what we wanted. But anyway, my parents achieved the American dream. They were never rich. They were never famous. They never owned more than one home. In fact, they never owned more than one car. Primarily because my mom didn't like to drive, but they never owned more than one car. But they lived the American dream. They didn't leave us any money. They left us something even more important, and that is a chance to do anything we wanted to. And that's possible because I was born a citizen of the greatest nation in the history of all mankind. And it's important to remember that. It's important to say that. You never hear that on the other side. Not enough. When the other side talks about the greatness of America, it always comes with an asterisk. Yeah, we're the greatest country in the world, but... and they'll fill in something we don't do right or something we did wrong 200 years ago or 150 years ago. Guys, I've never claimed that America's history is perfect, by the way. I've only claimed that our history is better than anybody else's history, by far. We are a nation of progress and of opportunity, a nation that has changed the world and inspired the people of the world. But it's in trouble. You know it's in trouble. We know it's in trouble. It is a nation whose borders are not secure. We're not secure.
Hi, baby. Hi, my love.
That's not immigration. That is mass migration. That is a
perfect timing. Wow. Abraham hears that I said, hi, my love. He knows that I'm talking to you, honey.
Who gave us the most secure border in modern history? Kamala Harris, who as Vice President of the United States was the border czar and has allowed this country to be overrun by millions and millions.
He brought it over here. He wanted me to show you, even though you're the one that got it for him.
My parents were able to achieve the American dream like so many of you, because when I grew up, bacon didn't cost $150 or whatever the crazy price is now. And that's the choice in this election. Between a man, when he was president, we had an economy where prices were stable, salaries were going up, and people could afford to have a little bit of money left over at the end of the month, against Kamala Harris, who has presided over runaway inflation, an unaffordable economy, a stale and stagnant job market. No matter what they tell you, your paychecks are not keeping pace with prices. They destroyed our economy and set us back. It's a choice.
Honey, do I give them what you made me to eat that I'm heating up? I'm heating it up right now on the pot. Do you think it'll still be spicy for him?
Doing that under Donald Trump. And a vice president wants to keep us from using our natural resources and wants to force everyone to have to drive an electric car.
Let me check the
score,
honey.
Who makes a lot of the electric cars, by the way. I'm not anti-electric car. I'm not anti-electric car. I've always called them golf carts, but I'm not against anti-electric cars. I'm not banning them. But you can't run a modern economy on electric cars and solar panels. You just can't. You can't do it. And we have an opportunity to generate.
It's 14-14.
And it's a
very close game. Oh, it's tied. It's good. It's a good game.
So what do you do? What do you do if you know you can't run on your record? And Kamala Harris can't run on a record. She was asked the other day, what would you do different than Joe Biden?
Wow, what a catch by Jefferson. I didn't think he caught it, but he caught it.
And this was on The View, so it was like in the morning. 8 people.
Binging that Agri Blogs Academy. Academy.
She couldn't think of a single thing she would have done different.
How you doing, my friend?
We can't afford another. If we have another 4 years like the last 4 years, you won't recognize your country. You won't. A President Biden-Harris administration that had us humiliated in Afghanistan. Absolutely humiliated. In fact, it's not a coincidence that after Afghanistan happened, Ukraine happened, all the stuff China's doing against the Philippines happened, maybe Taiwan soon enough happened, because they said this guy's weak, Joe Biden, America's weak because he's weak, we can get away with it. That wasn't happening under Donald Trump. Under Donald Trump, the head of the number one terrorist in the world that worked for Iran, Soleimani, he died. ISIS wiped out. No wars were started. Ukraine wasn't invaded. Israel wasn't invaded. The world was safe. And by the way, that guy in North Korea, he stopped launching missiles. That's the strength we need in our country again. That's what this election is about. Saving our country, restoring our country, so your children, your grandchildren can inherit what we inherited, the greatest country in the history of the world. This election is about saving America, and there's only one way to save America. We have to win in Nevada. We have to win that Senate seat with Sam Brown. You got to come out and vote for him. He needs your support as well. And you need to do a huge service to your country. You need to make sure that everyone you know turns out and votes, so that in about, 12 days now, less than 12 days, we will once again have a president, Donald J. Trump, running this country, saving this country, and making it what it belongs, a great country. Thank you and God bless. Thank you.
Hi, Margie. Rehelena. Rehelen. De veras. Simple mamita. Hi to all by Margie. Emmy. Hello, Sir DK. Good afternoon. So I'm just heating up some food that Mrs. Korekek made.
Welcome back. We are having a great time out here tonight.
So this is, she made chicken, squash, and rice. And then at the same time, I'm listening to Trump's rally. He's about to speak in a couple of minutes. And so I'm heating up the food, and I'm hoping that little DK gets to eat. I'm hoping, because he's real picky, so hopefully he'll eat a little bit. How you doing, Rahelen De Vera? How you doing, Margie? Emmy? Simply Mamita? Bijindera? So I barely started at 7 o'clock. And Mrs. Corrected happened to start lunch the same time I started the LS, and I had no idea. I had no idea it was her lunch, and she happened to go to lunch. Simply Mamita at Rehelen De Vera. Make a love shop. Update on device. Learn more about these things. These updates keep on popping up. Hello, Simply Mamita. Pare Helen. So guys, here in America is 12 days left. Cynthia, Variety Vlogs. Hello, Sir DK. Make a love shout. So here in America, we have 12 days left for voting. So 4 days left for voting. We're very close. We're very, very, very close. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go. Not that I'm thinking, I'm gonna go on Saturday. And I'm gonna go vote in person. I'm gonna go vote in person. It's very, very important. Very, very important. I don't know um how often or if any of my Filipino friends, any of my Filipina friends that are online right now, I don't know if they voted before in the past in their country. Um, and I want to like give you guys an example what this election here in the U.S. Is taking place and what it means. This election is like no other. Um, for example, for those of you that have voted in the Philippines, like for a presidente, for a leader and stuff. Okay, now just giving you guys like an example so you guys could know the importance of what's taking place here in the U.S. For example, we just pretend that in the Philippines, an administration came, a new leader came and started taking over in the Philippines, and you guys had 4 horrible years in your country. The food went up, the gas went up, your rent went up, your mortgage went up, your gas went up, your clothes went up, material to build the house or whatever you're gonna build went up. Everything goes up. Um, you wanna get somebody to babysit your kids or whatever. Everything went up, and it makes life very difficult. And you have to be very careful what you spend because you might not have enough for something else. Actually, that's happening right now in the U.S. where people have to be cautious of what they spend because they might not have enough for gas, they might not have enough for their medicine, or they might not have enough for other um, basic needs. Now, say that those 4 years almost came up, and there's another candidate going against a candidate that had four, almost 4 horrible years. Tropang Pahinyo Vlog. Thank you, my friend. So say that the 4 years were really, really, really bad, and so another candidate came, and he was president before, or she was president before, and they had a very good 4 years. Of course, when the pandemic hit, every country had some struggles. Every country has struggles when the pandemic hit, when COVID hit. But before COVID hit, um, the U.S. was um, running on all cylinders. Everybody was working. Everybody was making money. Food was cheap. Gas was cheap. The bills, like when you pay your bills, they were not as expensive. When you bought material, it was not expensive. Everything was cheaper. Everybody was enjoying life. Everything was going good. No wars, no nothing. Well, now this time around, we have people still support, even though they have went through 4 hard years with this administration that we have right now, with Joe and Kamala Harris. A lot of people are struggling right now, but these people that support Kamala um, don't care if the millions out there of families were struggling. They don't care. They don't care if they were struggling. They're dedicated supporters of her. In enormous support of Kamala are women. And the reason why is because it's a woman president. They want a woman president. But and I have nothing against a woman president. I wouldn't mind a woman president, but she's not the right one. She's not the right one because um, if things are very expensive right now, she would take it to a different level. Things here in the US will be even more expensive if she becomes president. Because why? She wants to raise our taxes even higher. So can you imagine? You imagine things are already expensive in the United States. If she gets in and she wins the presidency, it's going to be more expensive. Things are going to go way up. Things are going to go way up. I could see people losing jobs because everybody thinks that raising the minimum wage is a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing if you earn it. If you earn it through hard work and sweat. But if you giving everybody a raise, then what companies are going to do, going to do, they're going to they're gonna be forced to cut half of their workforce, meaning a lot of people are gonna get laid off, and they're only gonna keep a particular certain individuals that are good workers, that are very good workers, and that the workforce is gonna shrink because the pay is gonna go higher. So they're gonna have to lay off in order to afford to pay the pay raise. So you see, America's gonna, if she gets in, everything's gonna go up. Everything's gonna go up, and it's gonna be a scary thing because she wants to raise our taxes. She wants to raise taxes. How can you raise taxes with struggling families? Imagine the single moms. You imagine if you're a single mom and you have to pay more taxes. Food becomes more expensive. It's already expensive, food. Bills become more expensive. Your phone to get more expensive. Everything will go up. So that's why I'm really hoping that Trump wins. Really hoping that Trump wins. And not only that, you know what we're doing? You know what we're doing? We're using other people's oil from different countries. You know that United States has so much oil underneath our feet. Hi, Rini. Hi, Risha and Rini. How are you doing? Thank you for coming. This should be ready to serve. Now I gotta hope that Abraham will eat with me. You ready to eat rice? My little Filipino. He says no to me. He's the first Filipino that doesn't like rice. I never met a Filipino that hates rice. You're the first Filipino in history that hates rice. So Mrs. Koreke prepared chicken and squash. Squash is good for your eyes. What Mrs. Koreke said, squash is really good for your eyes. It doesn't taste that bad either, the squash. I can't grab the rice with the toothpick. No, I'm sorry, not with the toothpick. Sorry, with the chopsticks. You guys are wondering what that noise is? Drive Lugs Unlimited. Thank you. Yes, yes, and that's what Trump is. He cares about the welfare of the people, for people to be prosperous here in America. You need someone that wants its citizens to prosper. That's what you want. Prosperity in the people is important. You know, people need tax cut. You know, they need food lowered. They need the gas lowered. They need their essentials lowered. It's very important. It's very important, and that's why Kamala wouldn't be a good president, because she's gonna raise everything up. Everything will go up. It's expensive now. Imagine if she gets in. If she gets in, oh my goodness, it's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be really bad. People, I really believe people will lose their homes. I really believe people will get kicked out and be out in the street more. There'll be more homeless people out in the streets if this woman gets into office, because everything will be all the more expensive with her in the office.
Join me in welcoming Tulsi Gabbard, everybody.
Thank you so much. Aloha. Salapalava. Mabuhay. It is such a beautiful sight and an amazing feeling to be here to join all of you on this special night. We have people here from all different backgrounds, different races, ethnicities, places we grew up, experiences that we had. All of us coming together, united by our love of this great country. We're united by our love for each other as fellow Americans. We see each other as children of God and recognize that as we come together, we may disagree
squash,
on some things, but we appreciate our fundamental
asparagus,
rights and freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution and Bill of Rights.
And chicken.
This is why we stand here together tonight, 12 days before the most historic and important election of our lives, united for change. There is a very clear choice in this election. I am doing all that I can to help elect President Trump because there is nothing short of our freedom and our future on the line. We've seen some of the most egregious and brazen abuses of power coming from the Harris-Biden administration than we've ever seen in our country, certainly in my lifetime. To see a person in Kamala Harris who is telling the American people that she believes in free speech, that her campaign is about freedom, and yet fundamentally she does not believe in our right to free speech. She doesn't believe in our right to gather in places like this and express ourselves. She doesn't believe in our right that is fundamental to the First Amendment to criticize our own government. We saw just recently in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene's disaster wreaked on the people of Western North Carolina and 5 other states. Those of us had some things to say on behalf of our fellow Americans about how they have been failed by our government during their most dire time of need.
Pick up your blocks and
And if you listen to the White House, if you listen to Joe Biden, and you listen to Kamala Harris, they criticized us and called us dangerous for spreading misinformation. That is what is at the core of what I view as the dangerous threat to our freedom and our democracy, because it's in dictatorships and authoritarian governments. Those in power view those who criticize them as dangerous. There is no one they have targeted more than President Donald J. Trump. And there's a reason for that. Because they recognize that he doesn't bend the knee or kiss the ring in the establishment of Washington, D.C. They recognize that he brings the voices of the people of this country who are frustrated and sick and tired of being forgotten and left behind by those in power. They recognize that President Trump is the only Republican who has had the courage to stand up to the uniparty of war in Washington and state over and over his commitment for peace. This is why they're throwing everything they possibly can at him and why they see him as the greatest threat. We see how they try to silence and censor those.
DK, sir, how is little DK? Give love for him. Oh, thank you. He's doing good. Right now, he's putting his blocks away. Hi, Amin. Thank you, Cynthia, Kunti, Tropam, Tribe Blogs. The squash is so good.
20 million plus people in who their very first act was to break our laws. We cannot allow ourselves or our friends to fall for the lies and the propaganda. She's working hand in glove with the mainstream media and big tech, doing all that they can to erase the past and try to make us believe that this new picture is somehow true. They're so afraid, and they're doing all of this because they see that a free people in a free country are the greatest threat to their power.
Okay, I think it'll be, even though I'm doing okay, I do pretty good. I'm doing all right with the chopsticks. I'll do it the American way and do it with and do it with a fork.
We need to save our country.
Because it's hard to pick up the rice, guys.
To stand with them in making that possible. This is a no-fail mission we have before us. Yes, your vote is critical, but you got to bring 10 people with you to make sure that our voices are heard in the swamps of Washington and that Donald Trump goes back to the White House to make America great again and start to clean that house.
Come on, have rice, you're Filipino.
Now, President Trump said something last
Come
night
here, Papa.
we were in Georgia that really struck a chord with me. He told
doesn't
the
want
people
it.
there in
He
Georgia
does not like rice.
that what he has built and what he is leading is a movement of love.
The first Filipino in
Love for our
history
country,
that hates
love
rice.
for our freedom, love for the American people, and
I don't
love
understand.
getting us back towards a path of peace, freedom, and prosperity. This is why I'm supporting President Trump, and this is why we need to send him back to the White House. So I want you to join me right now, sharing all of the aloha that is in your heart, and welcome the 47th President to the United States here on stage right now.
Say the economy is getting worse. People are shocked. The country is on the wrong track. That track follows 3.5 years of that's what America is respected throughout the world.
Biden and Kamala Harris have projected weakness on the world stage. Imagine if Kamala Harris was the commander-in-chief. We're on the verge of World War III.
Our security is as safe. We're as strong as we were
Under
4 years
President
ago.
Biden, nearly 7.3 million illegal immigrants across the Southwest.
Biden-Harris administration and open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
To answer all those questions, yes, well, I think the choice is very obvious. To be hopeful. You know, they want hope. People need hope. They want to have the future. This is the right. If you don't think that this course that we've been on for the last 4 years is what you would like to see us follow the next one, then I would suggest another choice that you make. Absolute savage.
Securing the border to foreign policy progress and the economy.
Now I could grab more with
Many are supporting because their lives are so better.
with a spoon. Though I wish I was really super good with chopsticks.
With you at my side, we will demolish these glorious White House, and we will liberate America from these villains.
So I'm eating squash, asparagus, rice, and chicken. Hey, Mike. Congratulations on your 4K watch time. I gotta lower that because I don't want to get a copyright with that song. So good. So I'm eating what Mrs. Korekek made today: rice, squash, and chicken. So Mike, what's up? Good evening, Miami. Thank you, Risha. Team. Looking good dinner meal, Sir DK by Cynthia. Hi, Mamita by Mike. Ray Helen, thank you. Do you remember from my live stream, Michael Gleeman? Yes, Mike. I remember him. Don't tell me, Mike, that was your your close friend that passed, because I saw your video about your close friend. I'm sorry about the loss of your close friend. Yeah, I remember. It was just like yesterday when I saw him on your LS. That's crazy, Mike. How life just passes us by like that, like nothing. It's so true what the Bible says. You know, we're like a beautiful flower on the field that is like our youth, and it withers away. We're like flowers on a field, and it withers away. TSD. Yeah, we have to live life and not live it taking it for granted. Oh, I'm doing good, TSD Rocks. Thank you so much. TSD Rocks. Hello to Cynthia by TSD. Mike, let that be motivate. I know he's a close friend. He was a close friend to you. Let that be a motivation to you to live your life at the fullest, to grasp life and love your life, and not take your days and not care about it. Be thankful to God and give him appreciation for all the days that you have, and live life to the fullest, because Michael, he would want that for you, Mike. He would have want that for you. Thank you for your blessings, and bless. Get well soon. Abraham, your snacks are right there. I think I'm just gonna have to get you dinner later on, since you don't want to eat. By Emmy Manicure TSD, my friend, hello. You're eating all alone. Yep. Well, I try to feed my son, but my son is very picky. He's very, very picky. He's the first Filipino that I know that does not like rice. He hates rice. He's a mestizo. I know he's half Filipino, but I know half Filipino. I seen half Filipino kids that love rice, but this boy, he wants nothing to do with rice. Don't bring rice to him because they'll run away. Just like I'm Indian, but I avoid spice. But I know this Filipino that I used to work with years and years ago. And I found it so odd. And he's full Filipino. Full Filipino. And he did not like to eat fish. He did not like fish. Imagine that. A Filipino that doesn't like fish. Bahay, TSD, Kaise, Ho, Denke, Hai, Gaya, Hai, Kaya. By Tribe Blogs Unlimited. You're laughing at my language. Up high, too thick. High, hoa, not okay. Wait, let me speak to you in Filipino too. Hello po, mosta po. Woohoo! Okay, check the blood platelets, brother. TSD.
Polls are open for early voting in Nevada every day from now to November 1st. So get your husband, Hank, get the hell out of the couch, Hank. Get that big fat ass of you. We're gonna go and vote for the president. We're gonna turn our country around, Hank. Come on, let's go. Right? So get out, vote Republican up and down the ballot. We're gonna do a real job. With your help, 12 days from now, 12 days.
Wow, it's
We've
just
been
here.
waiting for 4 years.
12 days.
Now think of it, we did great in 2016. I hate to tell you, we did much better. Like millions and millions of votes better. But you know what? Now, what we do is going to be bigger. This will be the biggest political event in the history of our country if we win.
Go ground.
With your help, 12 days from now, we are going to win Nevada. We are going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we are going to make America great again. Right?
So right now he's at Nevada, toss-up state, Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. Those are up in the air. Georgia.
What spirit? What spirit? Like a pent
Texas is and I heard that Texas might be in danger of turning blue because what's happening in Texas is that so many people from Washington State, from Washington D.C., from New York, from California, from Oregon, they're fleeing these blue states that are very liberal. They're fleeing because of very high taxes, um, very high crimes, and so of course they're fleeing and going somewhere where it's more law-abiding, more strict. You're more free, less government. So they go to Texas, but yes, there's a but. But all these thousands upon thousands of people all coming from Texas, from all these blue states, from these very, very, not only blue states, but very, very liberal cities in the blue states. They come to Texas and still vote blue. They still vote blue. Of course, eventually the state's gonna turn blue because these people are still voting blue. You left California, you left Washington State, you left Oregon, you left New York, you left Colorado to get away from the expense, but yet you still vote blue. You're making the state that you moved to into the state that you left. It doesn't make sense. It does not. It doesn't. It's mind-boggling. So that's why Texas is gonna. It could be in danger of becoming blue. I still think there's enough conservatives in Texas, but all the how can I say, the wave of blue people coming flooding Texas could end up making it blue in the future, or maybe in this election. You never know. It's just so many. That's not including people that are coming here illegally. Okay, that are coming here illegally from not just Mexico, not just there's so many. For those of you that are my Filipino friends or my Indian friends that don't know this, the southern border is open. Okay, from the Joe Biden and Kamala administration, so they left the floodgates open. So people are coming in. They come in from South America, go up to Mexico, and go through the border to the United States. So they're coming from Africa. They're coming from the Middle East. They're coming from China. They're coming from Japan. I mean, they're not, how can I say? The FBI has said that already thousands of terrorists that were on the list have made it into the U.S. 13,000 convicted people that were in prison and asylums. They're in the U.S. And that's not even including people that were released from prison, murderers, kidnappers, rapists, child molesters that came through the border and are now in the U.S. So you're talking about 13,000 that we know of. 13,000 convicted felons in the U.S. because the border was open because of these people that are in this administration. So now the U.S. has become more unsafe. So these leaders from Guatemala, Venezuela, from these countries open up their prisons and tell the prisoners, if we ever see you again, we're going to kill you or we're going to keep you in prison. So leave from this country. So of course they leave and they come into the United States, open. And so we're more, it's U.S. has become more dangerous with 13,000 felons around the United States. You imagine you're walking and you don't know the person next to you is a murderer, is a killer, and he asks you, "Oh, can you show me where it's at? Can you show me where it's at?" With a little English that they know. Some of them don't even know English. If they don't know English, then let that be your warning sign. Go walk the opposite way. Walk the opposite way. I'm Latino. I'm Hispanic. And I believe you need to come into the US the correct way, the right way. So imagine the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people that came in through the border illegally, not legal. Let me repeat. They came in illegally, meaning against the law. It's against the law of the nation. But because we have such weak leaders, it's become like it's legal, like it's open for anybody to come in to our nation. It has become, even though it is against the law of our nation, that you have to come in the right way, the merit way. Like, for example, there's so many Filipinos. It's unfair to the Filipino people. It's unfair to the Indian people and other people around the world that needed to wait years to come into the US. They came in the right way. Their loved ones did the paperwork. They did the paperwork. It costs money. And then the heartache to wait for a couple years or whatever, how long it was, to be with your loved one again. They came in the right way. They waited in line. They did it the right way because they're good immigrants. They're good immigrants. U.S. is open to everybody coming, for people coming, but you need to come in the right way, the correct way. And all these people are not. So that means you're cheating and you're cutting in front of the line in front of Filipinos. You're cutting the line in front of Indian people and other people around the world that want to come into the U.S. But thousands upon thousands of people are coming in through the open border. And you know what that does to the taxpayers of the United States? Our taxes go up, especially when a Democrat's in office. No matter what, when a Democrat's in office, our taxes always go up. They love to raise taxes. That's just the fact. I mean, doesn't it sound ridiculous, guys, where somebody's campaigning? Your food is already expensive in the store. It's expensive to get a car, to buy a car. Your rent goes up, your mortgage goes up, groceries go up, everything goes up. And then she talks about raising the taxes and then being a spike. And, oh, I'm going to raise your taxes. And then the stupid people. How can you clap to raise it? Things are already expensive, and they're clapping and cheering because they're gonna have to pay more out of pocket. It doesn't make sense to me. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's when you know that these people are really behind her. You know, it's like it's unheard of. Imagine, who's the presidente of the Philippines? Is it Marco? Who's the president of the Philippines right now? I know Duterte is gone, so I think it's Marcos. Marcos is the president right now for the Philippines. Okay, I'm not that sure if Marcos is the president, whoever is the president in the Philippines. But imagine you're the opposition of Marcos. Okay, imagine you're the opposition. You went for the guy that was going. You're for the guy that was going against Marco or whatever. So imagine if Marco says, and his followers are right there. Imagine, and he says that the people of the Philippines, I'm gonna raise your. I know things are so expensive. I know things are hard, but we're gonna have to raise the taxes. We're going to have to raise everything. We're gonna have the tax spike up, and his supporters. You're the opposition, looking from across the other way, and his supporters are like, "Yeah, yay!" Like clapping. It's like, how can you clap to pay more? How can you clap to pay more? These people are something else. Really, they really are. You would do the opposite. If you're gonna cut taxes and make it cheaper, make food cheaper, make gasoline, make electricity cheaper, of course then I could see the applause because you're making people's lives easier. But when someone how do I say, what's it called? Bluntly says to your face that they're gonna raise your taxes and the people applaud, that's very weird. That's weird. Thank you guys. Thank you for the 4 meal in the house and the 9 thumbs up. I'm nice and full with rice. I still have another chicken, but I'm so full I can't eat it. Risha, Helen, Cynthia, Tropan, do you guys want chicken? I want to ask my Indian friends. Simply Mamita, Emmy. I want to ask my Indian friends if they want chicken because I know there's a lot of Indian people that are vegetarians. Nothing against my Indian friends, but I could not be a vegetarian. I need to have my meat. I need to have my chicken or my steak.
We see the princess at the Indian break well.
Yeah. Studies, yes, try. He should win, but it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed because, like I said, Kamala, she has a strong base of voters. Um, she has a strong base of voters to where even though they know everything's gonna go up, even though they know things are gonna get worse, um, they're still behind her. They're still behind her because she's a woman. And to vote for somebody because she's the same color as you or because of her sex, um, it's the wrong reason to vote for somebody. It's the wrong reason to vote for somebody. Um, if it was a woman where she fought to make your country safer, to make it safer, if she fought to clean your streets, to um, bring and create jobs and the economy to go up, blistering, and for everybody to work and to lower the prices on food, gas, and essentials, then there's nothing wrong with that. Of course. Then why not? Why not? But she's not. She's not. Oh. Look at what he said right here.
Hydrogen. No, I think we'll pass. They said they've gotten it much better. No, that's not good
Wait.
enough. But we will quickly become energy independent again. We were energy independent 4 years ago. And we will frack, and drill, baby, drill. Right? We're gonna drill. And I'm going to cut your energy bill in half within, think of this, within 12 months, 50%, you're going to have it down. And the reason we can do it is we got that liquid gold. We don't know what to do with it. We have so much. We don't use it. And you know what? When that comes down, because that's what led it up, that and their stupid spending. But the energy is what led it up. They're paying a fortune for energy. We have it under the ground. We're going to use our energy. Your energy bills from January 20th, when we take office, will be down 50% within 12 months, and everything else will follow.
See what I mean?
To make housing more affordable, we will open up portions of federal land, which is what you've wanted here so badly. And your governor's doing a good job, by the way. We thank him very much, Joe Lombardo. Doing a very good job. For large-scale housing construction in those zones, well,
okay. So what's taking place is that we have, for people that are from the Middle East, they know what they mean when there's liquid gold, black gold. Black gold is oil underneath our feet. United States has abundance of oil underneath our feet. We have oil underneath our feet in the US. And you know what, guys? We don't use it. Can you believe it? We don't use it. And our oil is 30% cleaner than others around the world. So why wouldn't we use the oil underneath our feet here in the United States? Why wouldn't we use, if it's 30% cleaner, that's a gift from God. 30% cleaner. You know where we're getting our oil right now? Venezuela. We're getting our oil from Venezuela. Venezuela oil is horrible. It's like tar. And there's only one place where they could make it to where we could use it for fuel. And it's worse in the environment to use that oil from Venezuela than it is to use our own oil underneath our feet. Doesn't make sense. If the liberals, if the Democrats care so much about the environment, why don't they want to use better oil, better, more quality oil that is in the US? Why wouldn't they? Why do they prefer oil from a different country that's less quality? Why don't you want to use oil from the US that's 30% cleaner? But you know why? Money. So if you use oil from the United States, our own people use their own oil, liquid gold, from underneath our feet, prices will go down. Prices will go down because we're using our own oil. We don't have to have it imported from a different country. It doesn't have to go across the Atlantic or the Pacific or behind us on the south side from Venezuela and going all the way up. It doesn't have to. We could use our own oil, our own resources. And what would that do? You become energy independent. Meaning you use your own reliable sources from your own land. You don't have to go get it. It doesn't make sense, to pay millions of dollars to another country to use the same freaking resources that you have at your own land. It's dumb, huh? It's very dumb. Well, that's what the Democrats are doing. They're using other resources from other countries. If we have better resources and more abundance underneath our feet, underneath us right now in the U.S., but the Democrats prefer to go get it overseas or in the southern border area. Doesn't make sense to me. Thank you guys. I know this gets me hyped up, but it gets me hyped up because it gets me angry because it's common sense that you use your own resources. It's common sense that you want to do the right things for your citizens. It's common sense that you should abide by the laws of your land. It's common sense that you should abide by the law of other countries. Can you imagine if I want to come into the Philippines without the Philippines' permission? Do you think that could happen? Or do you think I could go into India without India's permission? If I try to sneak in and try to live there and try to be a citizen, hiding, would your country have the right to kick me out? Of course they would have a right to kick me out because I'm going in there illegally. I'm going in there without their permission. I'm going in there because I want to, not because of I don't care about the government rules of your country. So I want to break them and I want to go in. Do you think the Philippines are going to let me do that? Of course not. Do you think India is going to allow me to do that? No. If I want to become a citizen of the Philippines, I got to do it the right way. If I want to be a citizen of India, I got to do it the right way. So why can't other people from other countries do it the right way? Right now, I don't know if you guys are aware, but right now we have thousands of people that are illegally in the United States. Thousands. Doesn't make sense to me. Thank you guys. Thank you for the 3 mil and the 9 million thumbs up. Thank you so much. Abraham is in the living room. I can see him right now, and he's playing on the couch. He's relaxing. Oh, he's not relaxing. He's being active right now.
Housing construction in those zones will have ultra low taxes and low regulations to help bring back jobs and factories. Portions of federal land, which is what you wanted here so badly. And your governor's doing a good job, by the way. We thank him very much, Joe Labarre. Doing a very good job. For large-scale housing construction in those zones, we'll have ultra-low taxes and low regulations to help bring back jobs and factories from foreign lands. We have our jobs going to foreign lands. But I killed the big auto plant in Mexico, right? You know that. They were building the biggest auto plant in the world. You know what happened? They said, if you build it, you're going to pay a 200% tariff, meaning you're not going to be able to sell any cars into the United States. And by doing that, I saved Michigan. I helped South Carolina a lot, but I saved Detroit because they've been decimated so badly over the years, over the decades. They've been devastated. We're going to bring the auto industry back into our country through smart taxation and tariffs and incentives. And we're going to have every car company that wants to sell cars in this country, they're going to be making them in our country. And remember, the interest rate deduction, you buy a car, the interest rate deduction that I am going to get you is only going to pertain if the car is made in America. If it's made someplace else, forget it. Got to be made in America. I mean, how smart is that? How simple is that? I probably just tripled their production in Detroit. And by the way, we're leading in Michigan by a lot. We're leading in Wisconsin by a lot. We're leading in Pennsylvania by a lot. But I'm not supposed to say that. Just forget it. Pretend it's close. Everybody has to. No, they're afraid that if you hear that, they're not going to vote. I said, well, it's a double-edged sword.
DK bro, you were saying this for so many days. DK bro, do voice work copyright? No. No, it only if I was showing like and staying there and leaving it there for a long time. So audio it won't give you copyright the audio. So I was listening to Trump's rally. He's having a rally right now in Nevada. Because Nevada is a state it's next to California. Well, Nevada is a swing state, meaning it could go Republican, it could go Democrat. So right now it's a battle for Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, and North Carolina. So those are the ones that it's a battle to win between these two parties, Republican and Democrat. So those 5 states, though now there's talk that Texas is in danger. But it's endangered because you have all these liberals moving to Texas, and they're still voting blue, even though they left the blue state. Me, I have a conservative mindset. I'm originally from Texas. I know somebody could say, "Well, you're doing the same thing in California. You're from Texas, but you're still voting red." The difference is, yeah, it's correct. The difference is that when I came to California, I wasn't allowed to vote because I wasn't 18 when I came to California. I was under 18 when I came to California, coming from Texas. But I had conservative beliefs. But back then, many years ago, I voted blue. I voted for Democrat because I was told that's what you just do because you're a minority, you're a person of color, you're Hispanic, you're a Latino, you're supposed to vote Democrat. That's no answers or buts. But when I did my research, the giraffe fell down. When I did my research and I found out, I could not believe my eyes that when I did deep research and I found out what I found out about the Democratic Party, my beliefs didn't align with the Democrats at all. It didn't align at all. And all those years I was voting Democrat blindly. You guys, I was voting Democrat blindly all those years until I did my research. And when I did my research, I couldn't believe, like I said, I couldn't believe my eyes, my ears, because I did deep research. And what the Republicans' beliefs were, it was aligning with my beliefs. I said, no, it can't be. How's this possible? How is this possible? How are the Republicans beliefs and their policies aligning what I believe. It's supposed to be the Democrats, or the way I vote. And guys, that's when the blindfold came off. And that's how I switched over and became a Republican, a conservative Republican. And that's how I became a Republican when I did my research. Oh, okay. DK, bro. So sad. Yeah, for many years, imagine. You don't know. But, what matters is that now I know. Now I know I did my research. Sophia. Sophia Brizes. Sophia. Oh, Breezy. So now I know your name. Sophia. I want you guys to listen to something. Let me see if I still have it here. Be careful. I'll let you guys listen to this. And these are one of the things that I looked into, not just this, but I went in and I did my research, and that's how I switched over. Started doing my research. These are just one of the few things that I ran into. So you guys could listen to it.
And civil rights. When you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party comes to mind? The Republicans or the Democrats? Most people would probably say the Democrats, but this answer is incorrect. Since its founding in 1829, the Democratic Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative and has a long history of discrimination. The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the Ku Klux Klan, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the Civil Rights Acts of the 1950s and 1960s.
See, guys, I never knew none of that. I was so blind, and I used to vote for this party blindly, not knowing, for many, many, many years. Just listen again. It's
Fought
great.
against every major civil rights, but this answer is incorrect. Since its founding in 1829, the Democratic Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative and has a long history of discrimination. The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the Ku Klux Klan, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the Civil Rights Acts of the 1950s and 1960s. In contrast, the Republican Party was founded in 1854 as an anti-slavery party. Its mission was to stop the spread of slavery into the new Western territories with the aim of abolishing it entirely. This effort, however, was dealt a major blow by the Supreme Court in the 1857 case, Dred Scott versus Sandford. The court ruled that slaves aren't citizens, they're property. The 7 justices who voted in favor of slavery, all
See, listen. I'm just gonna go a little bit back just so you could hear it a little.
of slavery into the new Western territories with the aim of abolishing it entirely. This effort, however, was dealt a major blow by the Supreme Court in the 1857 case Dred Scott versus Sandford. The court ruled that slaves aren't citizens, they're property. The 7 justices who voted in favor of slavery, all Democrats. The 2 justices who dissented, both Republicans. The slavery question was, of course, ultimately resolved by a bloody civil war. The commander-in-chief during that war was the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, the man who freed the slaves. 6 days after the Confederate Army surrendered, John Wilkes Booth, a Democrat, assassinated President Lincoln.
So, see, guys. So the Republicans went to war and had the Civil War. The Republicans wanted to free the slaves. They didn't see the slaves as property. They saw them as human beings. So they wanted to free them. They wanted to free them. We might all look different, guys, but we all bleed the same color. I'll repeat. We might all look different, but we all bleed the same color. I don't bleed purple. I don't bleed green. I don't bleed yellow. I bleed the same color as everybody, as you guys. Well, eventually, the Republicans and Democrats, they had the Civil War and they went to war. The good guys ended up winning to free the slaves. The leader, the first Republican leader, president, was Abraham Lincoln. Sorry, I needed to burp because of the Coke I drank. And so shortly after we won, as the Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. He got shot in the back of the head and they killed him.
Lincoln, the man who freed the slaves. 6 days after the Confederate Army surrendered, John Wilkes Booth, a Democrat, assassinated President Lincoln.
Okay, so it was so quick. So 6 days later, after victory, that's when they assassinated him. That's when a Democrat killed Abraham Lincoln. 6 days after victory.
Lincoln's vice president, a Democrat named Andrew Johnson, assumed the presidency. But Johnson adamantly opposed Lincoln's plan to integrate the newly freed slaves into the South's economic and social order. Johnson and the Democratic Party were unified in their opposition to the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, the 14th Amendment, which gave blacks citizenship, and the 15th Amendment, which gave blacks the vote. All 3 passed only because of universal Republican support. Mm-hmm. During the era of Reconstruction, federal troops stationed in the South helped secure rights for the newly freed slaves. Hundreds of black men were elected to Southern state legislatures as Republicans, and 22 black Republicans served in the U.S. Congress by 1900. The Democrats did not elect a black man to Congress until 1935. But after Reconstruction ended, when the federal troops went home, Democrats roared back into power in the South. They quickly reestablished white supremacy across the region with measures like black codes, laws that restricted the ability of blacks to own property and run businesses, and they imposed poll taxes and literacy tests used to subvert black citizens' right to vote. And how was all of this enforced? By terror, much of it instigated by the Ku Klux Klan, founded by a Democrat, Nathan Bedford Forrest. As historian
So, for those of you, hi Leah, thank you for coming. So, for those of you that don't know who the KKK are, they came from the Democratic Party. They were created from the Democratic Party, from a Democrat, to terrorize black folks. So, see, it's the Democrats that oppose everything that was good. They have a history of it. They don't. If you were to bring it up to a moderate liberal, to a moderate Democrat of nowadays, they don't want nothing to do with it. They don't want to know the history of it, because it was in their party. They created this clan to terrorize innocent black folks, and it was all on their side. And it's they always want to point the finger. They say that the Republicans are racist because they want to build a wall. They say the Republicans are racist because we want to get the illegals. Remember, I'm not saying legal. Illegals out of the U.S. and for them to come in the right way, the merit way. Like I said earlier, Filipinos come in the right way. Filipinos have to do the paperwork. Their loved ones have to pay the money. Filipinos and Indians have to wait in line to come into the U.S. They have to do things the right way. And these people right now are just coming in and flooding in into America the incorrect way. And so they're pointing the fingers. Hi, BNB, hello. So they're pointing the finger to the Republicans that they're being the racists because we want to get them out from the United States, and we want legal. There's a difference from illegal and illegal. The Republicans want legal immigrants, good, abiding citizens that contribute to society, not people that break the law. What country wants thugs and not law-abiding citizens, illegals that break the law of their land? What country wants those type of people in their country? Of course not. They want good people in their country.
Foner, himself a Democrat, notes, in effect, the Klan was a military force serving the interests of the Democratic Party. President Woodrow Wilson, a Democrat, shared many views with the Klan. He resegregated many federal agencies and even screened the first movie ever played at the White House, the racist film, The Birth of a Nation, originally entitled The Klansman. A few decades later, the only serious congressional opposition to the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1964 came from...
All right, I will vote you to be my mayor in your place. You're too much, BNB. Thank you. Know what, bro? I was finished replaying the live rally of my President Trump. You're so awesome, BNB. You're so cool.
Democrats. 80% of Republicans in Congress supported the bill. Less than 70% of Democrats did. Democratic senators filibustered the bill for 75 days until Republicans mustered the few extra votes needed to break the logjam. And when all of their efforts to enslave blacks, keep them enslaved, and then keep them from voting had failed, the Democrats came up with a new strategy. If black people are going to vote, they might as well vote for Democrats, as President Lyndon Johnson was purported to have said about the Civil Rights Act. I'll have them voting Democrat for 200 years.
Okay, so I can't show you guys because then I'm scared of the copyright. Audio is okay, but this guy, his name is Lyndon Johnson. Okay, and they could not stop the Abraham stop. They could not stop black folks from voting. They could not get any more black folks from being slaves because the Republicans gave them the right to be free, to be able to vote, and to be able to arm themselves to carry. Well, they came up with a new strategy, the Democrats, and said, well, you know what we should do? We'll have, if we can't stop them, we'll have them voting Democrat for the next 200 years. So, but he said it in a vulgar, insulting way, what they used to call black folks, and that's an insulting word. And this guy that was a Democrat said that about them because they got frustrated that they couldn't control these people the way they wanted to, because the Republicans gave them the freedom to be free.
So now the Democratic Party prospers on the votes of the very people it has spent much of its history oppressing. Democrats falsely claim that the Republican Party is the villain, when in reality, it's the failed policies of the Democratic Party that have kept blacks down. Massive government welfare has decimated the black family. Opposition to school choice has kept them trapped in failing schools. Politically correct policing has left black neighborhoods defenseless against violent crime. So when you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party should come to mind? I'm Carol Swain, professor.
See, so that was a little one of the things that I ran into years and years ago about the Democrats, that opened up my eyes that they were evil, that they have such a horrible history, and it opened up my eyes. And that's when I was like, no way, I'm a Republican. No way I want to be a Democrat. No way. Or that, no way. Don't like hearing that girl's voice. She was explaining, BNB, she was explaining the history of the Republican and Democrat Party. If you were to come a little earlier, you would have heard the beginning of it, and you would have been shocked what you heard about the two party differences and the policies and the way it came to be between these two parties. So that's what I was playing, the audio, not the video, but the audio, because I don't want to get a copyright if I show it. Yeah, it's because she was talking about the Democrat Party, their beliefs, the way they were founded, what they founded, and their stronghold on the things that they embraced and fought for so hard. And what they fought for was evil, was bad, was it bad. And the Republicans, when she spoke about Republicans before you came, she was talking about how Republicans were trying to free folks from slavery, and they went to a war. So the Republicans and Democrats went to a war, and it was called the Civil War. And they had a war, and the Republicans won. They won, and then 6 days later, they assassinated the president, the first Republican president of the United States. They assassinated, a Democrat assassinated him, because they were so angry that the Republicans
freed the slaves. Do you imagine? You imagine those people upset because you freed a certain people from slavery? They were so angry that they wanted a bloodshed because they freed a certain people from slavery. Can you imagine that? That's horrible. That is horrible. I saw a pastor, Franklin, pray with President Trump. Yes, he has a lot of pastors. A couple of days ago, he had like about 30 pastors praying over him with their hands on Trump. You know, we have to remember that God used imperfect men. God didn't use perfect men. You know, God shows his strength through weakness. Let's remember that. God shows his strength through weakness. And we fall short of the glory of God. No man is perfect. We're not perfect. And God knows that. So that's why when people say, oh, how can you support Trump? Trump did this. Trump did that. Trump is a womanizer and he did this and he said that and blah, 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 blah. Well, I mean, look at the other people, you know, what they did, but God still used them. You know, God still used them. So God shows his, you know, his power through weakness. It's like when Jesus was sitting down with the sinners and people that were sick, the Pharisees were like, what is your teacher sit with the sinners? With the people that, and what did Jesus say? Jesus knew their thoughts, and he said that the ones that are well are not in need of a doctor, but those that are sick. But I don't see Kamala rally with thousands of supporters and crowded. Unlike Trump, many supporters, but media don't show in camera. Yeah. What does Trump say? Trump tells them she does rallies too, but she doesn't do them as consistent as Trump. Trump has so much energy, you know, and he doesn't need a teleprompter. He's so smart. He knows his policies and he subscribes his policies every time before his rallies are over. He subscribes what his policies are. Kamala Harris, she avoids at all costs interviews. And the only reason why she's doing what the ones that she is doing, and very few, and the only reason why she's doing is because she feels the pressure from her party that, you know, you gotta get going because Trump is doing so much and he has so much energy. He's doing several events in one day, and you're only doing like one, and then you have a day off, and then you have another one. He's totally outdoing you and speaking to the people. So of course she's being forced to talk. She doesn't want to open her mouth, because when she opens up her mouth, she always makes a mistake. And she always has to look at a teleprompter because she can't even put a paragraph together without looking at the teleprompter. Yeah, Trump, he doesn't need a teleprompter at all. It's all out right here and right here. That's my president, bro. Yes, he's something else. He's really something else. There was let me Maybe I'll find it. Let me show you guys something real quick. Not show you, but hear the audio of it real quick. Listen to this, okay? I'm gonna just listen to this. This is gonna be a short audio of Trump. There you go.
It's a tricky thing. It's dust. It's a little tricky thing. Masks, no masks, everything. You can do all you want, but you still need help from the boss. We need help from the boss. That's what happened. We need help. Yeah, we need help. It's all right to say it. Now, they'll criticize me for that. How dare he say that? How dare he say that? No, I'll say it. I'll say it. I'll say it. Somebody said to me the other day, "You're the most famous person in the world by far." I said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." He said, "Yes, you are." I said, "No." He said, "Who's more famous?" I said, "Jesus Christ." I'm not taking any chances. I'm not going to have an argument. Hey, I'm not having any arguments. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to take any chances. I'll give it, I guarantee. And let me look up and I'll say, and it's not even close.
That was awesome right there. Here's another a small clip, less than a minute. Watch.
Former President Donald Trump said this a while ago, but right now it's more relevant than it was before. Listen to this.
Our country needs a savior right now, and our country has a savior. And that's not me. That's somebody much higher up than me. Much higher up. We just do what we have to do. But the life and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ forever changed the world. It's impossible to think of the life of our own country without the influence of his example and of his teachings. Our miraculous founding, overcoming civil war, and the United States ultimately becoming a truly great nation, and we're going to keep it that way. We're going to keep it that way. We're not going to let it go. Not going to let it go. But none of this could have ever happened without Jesus Christ and his followers and his church.
Amen. Let's keep on praying for Trump. And for more videos like this, follow.
That's awesome. You know when yes, I watched that too. President Trump says he's not famous, not him, but Jesus. Also, he said he is not master, but God. Yep. Yeah, we're nothing compared to him. We're nothing. We're just, like I said earlier before some of you came on, we're like like the Bible says, we're like a flower on the field, and our life just withers away. We're here one day and we're gone the next. We have to appreciate each and every day. You okay, Papa? My hands itch. They itch because they're so dried. I need to put some lotion on. Thank you guys for coming on. I'm gonna stay for. Oh, I'm gonna have to go already. I'm gonna have to leave already because I have to pick up Mrs. Korek pretty soon from work. Let me see. Did she text me? And I want to see if she let me know what time she's coming out. Okay, so I'll stay till 15 more minutes. So I'll stay 15 more minutes because she doesn't get off of work until a little bit after 9. It's here in California. It is 8:45 p.m. and so she gets off um, a little bit after 9 o'clock, and she works close to the house. But of course, I'm not gonna have my wife walk in the dark. No way. It's dangerous, you know. I'd rather go pick her up, even though she works close to where we live. Abraham, don't fall. Even though her job is nearby, as a husband, it's my responsibility to keep her safe. So I'll go pick her up and bring her home safely. I'm just happy seeing a billionaire man acknowledging Jesus is his master and boss. Yes, BMV, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It is. Remember when Jesus said that it's gonna be hard for a rich man to get into heaven? Remember that he has said that in front of the people. That it's easier for a camel to go through a needle. I forgot which way what it was, but he has said that it's going to be really hard for a rich man to make it into heaven because a rich man's going to feel that he doesn't need God. A rich man could end up feeling that he is God because he has power. Because we have to admit that money is power. As much as we want to deny it and say no, money is power. Money makes things happen. Money gives you could give you, if you have abundance of it, could give you a very comfortable life. But there's a but. In the same time, people that have so much money can't have enough, even though they have wealth to live a lifetime of luxury. They're not happy because they want more on top of what they got. And so they're miserable because they want to get to a number that is endless, that is, that goes further beyond. They don't stop reaching. They're not satisfied. I would be satisfied with with half of that. I would make it, if I had, now I don't even need $1 million. If I had 500,000, shoot, boom, I'll move to the Philippines, buy land over there, buy enough land to where I could raise animals, do a business there, help out my wife's family, where they could make their business and grow their income and then become prosperous and then have generational wealth for their kids and then their kids, like that, to help out the familia, because family is very important. Yes, me. See that you're laughing. Yeah. Thank you, guys. 10 more minutes and I would have to say goodbye to you. I tried feeding this boy and he does not want to eat what me and Mama were eating. So right now, 8, 9, 10, 11. You guys, it's 10 more minutes and you guys are going to have lunch in the Philippines. It's going to be lunchtime. Lunchtime in the Philippines. Trump is still having the rally right now. He's in Nevada.
Jorge, we won 2 world wars. Now we're a little different, but you know what the truth is? We defeated.
All about music, songs, music, songs.
We have a great military. It's only those stiffs that talk like Millie and Mattis and these characters that are on television. They're a bunch of stiffs telling real stiffs. We have great generals. We defeated ISIS in record time. They thought it was going to take.
Thank you. All about music. Appreciate you being here. Let me make you blue in a good way.
A lot of it, but still not very much, relatively. But we gave a lot of it to Afghanistan. What a mistake. What a bunch of dumps. Remember this? They took the military out first. No, you take the military out.
Yes, this is live. He's right now. He's getting close to end. He's in Nevada. Nevada's right next to California. So he's speaking right now. He's speaking about when they left Afghanistan. And they left so much weaponry that the terrorists over there got their hands on U.S. weaponry. And so now they're even stronger because of the Biden and Kamala Harris.
Many years ago. In conclusion, with your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala and we are going to save America. With your support, we will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands of factories back to America and back to Nevada.
Okay, BNB, you go to Right Side Broadcasting Network. You'll be able to see all the Trump rallies, even when they have election night. So when it's November 6th, where you're at, and when it's November 6th over there, it'll be November 5th over here. So your 6th will be our election here, November 5th. So the one he's at right now is Right Side Broadcasting on YT. So in letters is RSBN, which is Right Side Broadcasting Network. $1.77 million subscribers. 1.77 million subscribers. And right now there's 29,000 people watching the live stream. So that's the one that I always see when Trump is having a rally.
So it's Right Side Broadcasting Network. Okay, cool. So every day so far, if he's not having a rally, he'll have a town hall meeting. If he's not having a town hall meeting, he all of a sudden you see him visiting a random restaurant and he'll drop by unsuspectedly. So now he's been doing it for consecutive days now, where he's having some kind of activity. So every day on this channel, you'll hear him having a rally or some kind of talk. Keep in mind that sometimes he'll, how can I say, he might say some things that might raise your eyebrow, because it's hard to explain. I think he's in a time where he's upset because they almost took his life more than once. They almost, remember they tried killing him twice. So when my observation, when I analyze him, his mind process, and I see him get like angry, I think he gets angry because he can't believe that the rhetoric that the Democrats always spew out motivates these nutcases to try to kill him, to try to attempt to kill him. So sometimes he'll be talking and you could see that he gets like angry, like and he'll say, "These stupid people, I can't believe it," and so sometimes he'll talk like that because we're weak in the flesh. We're all weak and we get angry and upset, or what's happening in our lives or what people are doing. He doesn't have to do what he's doing now or risk his life almost getting killed twice. He doesn't have to do this. And one of them where the bullet went through his ear. He doesn't have to do it. He has a very relaxing, good life. He's a billionaire. He owns so much property. He could enjoy the rest of his days in peace. But he says he'd rather be doing now what he's doing, risking his life, because he wants people to be prosperous. He wants America to be great. He loves this country. He says he does it because he loves this country and it's run so poorly. And that's why he's willing to take that risk, and he already took it twice where they almost killed him twice. So it's he's doing it for us. He's taking that chance. I know Roy is part of the politics attack because he needs to speak to. Yeah. You know what? The thing about Trump, he's showing the Republicans, even after, say that he wins, and then 4 years from now we're gonna be so prosperous, gonna be so happy, the way the country's gonna take off, the way the jobs are gonna take off, the way food, gas, the necessities in life are gonna go down, where we're going to be able to afford the things that we want. We're going to be able to take several vacations. We're going to be able to get the things that we need for our family, to go to school or whatever we need for our families. We'll be able to afford it. But in the same time, what he did, the way Trump is, he brought this new type of fight to the Republican Party. Remember, conservatives, the Republicans, they're the same. They've always been known, and the feisty ones were always a Democrat, where the Democrats will bully the Republicans, and the Republicans, you know what they would do years and years ago? They will crawl down and step to the side because the Democrats were bullies and they were just very assertive, very progressive. And Trump
the way he's like, nah, we don't have to do this. We don't have to put up with this. We're going to show them we're going to be tough, just as tough as them or even tougher. And we're going to show them that we could outdo them in their own game. And so Trump brought that new type of fight, you know, that type of fight and that type of not giving up, to stand for what you believe and do not budge. Stand for what you believe, you know, fight through it. And so even years after Trump is gone, he showed the Republicans how to fight and stand up for themselves. He's showing them how to have a backbone. That's what he's doing, showing them how to have a backbone. Tropan. Other Filipinos misunderstand him too. They say I don't like, but me, I don't know him, but I believe him to be a good president even before I vote him to. Yes, BNB. Yep. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tribe Blogs. Thank you, BNB. Thank you, Sophia Brisis. Yes, happy vlogs. Tropang Paeño vlog. All about music. Let me come back up. Emmy, thank you so much. Rick MK Official, thank you. Thank you, Leah. Going back up, all the way up. Watching, hello. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brisis. Thank you, Helen De Vera. Risha TV. Risha T. Cynthia Variety Blogs. Going all the way. TSD. Simply Mamita. All the way up. Okay. Phil and Mike. Okay, that's it. That goes. Anybody else? Oh, Kunti. Thank you, Kunti. And Rennie. Thank you. Okay. That's all the way. All about music songs. I vote Trump too. Woohoo! Let's put it in the ballot. Let me show you guys something real quick before I leave. See, this is just the fake one. This is not the real ballot, but this is the one that just I don't want to show you all of it. I just want to show you the regular simple one, so I'm going to fold it. But I already have all the ones marked down. See, this is just to prepare you for when you do go vote. You know, so I already, of course, you guys see right there, Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance. And these are the rest of the people over here underneath the other people. But I have right there ready for Saturday. So Saturday I'm gonna go. You guys can see right here, November 5th. Brother, I only need $6. Help me complete my $100. Can you give me $3 and I'm fully support you? Yes, I'll go on. I'll go on after I come back from picking up my wife. So I have to go pick her up right now because she gets off of work in 10 minutes. So I have to go, guys, and then I'll be back and I'll help you out. Yes, happy blog, okay? Thank you guys so much. Please take care and God bless you. Thank you.